Test. Francis and David. Welcome to my channel and the program. So today I like to have a bit of talks regarding the recent um, gay marriage campaign to vote either yes or no. And the Australian government already passed, or at least it seemed to me that they passed the relevant legislation to allow um, legitimate gay couples and gay marriages. Um, at first sight, it really, it can really upset some of our fellow Christian friends, and it can, I've also seen some, local Chinese communities. They started their own campaign to vote against the legalization of gay marriage in Australia. And that caused a bit of a stir. And, since I'm not in Australia, I'm not in Sydney, Australia anymore, though I still keep in some fairly regular contacts with my Aussie friends there. Um, I just like to say this to you guys, to especially to my fellow Christian friends and to those um, strict MGTOW, MGTOW or MGTOW, those straight MGTOW, MGTOW men and single straight men. Don't get so upset, and don't you accuse um, don't you accuse of those those gay couples and would be gay um, you know gay couples. I just you know I just like to I just like to clarify that it might not be a bad thing at all. It actually might do us a bit of good in terms of regardless of whether in terms of a future opportunities um, for us to actually get laid by by our females, and also in terms of a more futuristic perspective, we can see that we, we can see that we can actually manage to achieve some more freedom, especially in terms of the ease of migration, the ease of passing some seemingly controversial legislations, not only limited or restricted to gays, to homosexual communities, but to also lots of other things, such as the concession fees um, for international and overseas students in Australia. Recently, the Australian government they are still reluctant to actually fully enable and allow the full concession fees, concession train ticket for international students, like me, like you probably. Um, you know, because from what I can see and from what I can manage to grasp and then further assess, and let's say even if the Australian government does not allow gay marriage, and the same can goes for other Western countries or other countries which belongs to the Western world, like America, Canada, um, Norway, etc. Even if the government, the local authorities the current regime doesn't pass the legislation to enable gays to marry, there homosexuality can still occur to our current society as well as communities. So rather rather than rather than let um, homosexuality goes rampant underground, we can now begin to see, the underlying causes and the underlying problems of homosexuality and the root cause of pretty much every type of suffering, every type of agony of the human race that is being currently experienced and endured. Um, you know, speaking from a Christian's perspective, um, homosexuality doesn't actually seem that uncommon. It already occurred well before human history could record and put them into written text and historical data. So we can't actually actually blame blame gays and homosexuals too much. Um, I just have to admit that some of them, um, a handful of gays and homosexuals, they were born gay. They were innately, natively gay. There is very little thing we can do to alter their sexual orientation and their personal preferences in terms of whom and how they wish to get to go dating or whatever, or whatsoever, And yes, recently, recently a friend of mine, he actually agreed to let me have an interview, a somewhat formal interview with him, and we shall address some of the issues relating to gay marriage and the recent marriage equality campaigns that took place in Australia, and some issues he had with he not he had but he has with the a variety of local churches, including but are not limited to Hillsong Church in Australia. Um, I will mention more of the details and specificities once we actually have the interview. So anyway, guys, thank you again for watching and listening. I hope I have managed to make my points clear to you guys so that you guys can see why I don't actually encourage you to get upset by this marriage equality campaign and the legalization of gay marriage in Australia. So just don't get too upset and always faithful stay faithful in God and in His words and in yourself. Um, I hope you guys are having a great Christmas so far, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video on YouTube. So have a great night or a great day. God bless, stay tuned, stay awesome, and see you next time. Bye bye.